All right, and today with us we have Allison Hank. She's the Regional Sales Manager at ICP, and I'm going to turn everything over to her. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. So today, really, we're going to take a focus on really what we're focusing on in the next year or so is specifically around the 2023 regulations coming up. And as we look ahead on our roadmap, make sure. We really have three large regulatory requirements coming. The first two are effective January 2023. The first will increase our minimum efficiency requirements by 8 to 10%, impacting about 70% of the products we sell today. The second requirement, effective in 2023, is the new test procedure. This new test procedure will require 100% of our products retested and re-rated. The third and upcoming regulation is a refrigerant change. For many states like California and Washington, rules are currently being finalized around a 2025 implementation date. From a national standpoint, the EPA is also working on a new refrigerant rule. These requirements also have the potential for 2025 implementation date for new HVAC products. These new refrigerant requirements are focused on the refrigerant global warming potential. Today, we use R410A, and it is over 2,000 GWP, which is global warming potential. While the new requirements are looking for refrigerants under a 750 GWP, beyond 2025, it is expected that there will be future GWP phase downs. So we wanted to select a refrigerant that could meet those future phase downs. This is the primary reason that we have selected R454B as our refrigerant of the future, with a very low GWP of 466, well below the 2025 requirements. Our designs with R454B are well underway, and we have a number of units in the field trial to begin gaining real-world experience. In late 2023 and throughout 2024, you will see us launch a full line of R454 products in preparation for the 2025 requirements. In addition to the new minimum efficiency requirements, we also have to follow a new test procedure. The DOE has defined test procedure that all manufacturers must follow when we test systems in our labs to develop the SEER, EER, and HSPF ratings. This test procedure defines an external static pressure that is applied to the exit of the coil, simulating a home's ductwork. Today, the procedure requires an external static pressure of 0.1. As I'm sure you all know, an ESP of 0.1 is not representative of a realistic installation. DOE has written the new rule to increase that external static pressure from 0.1 to 0.5 to be more representative of how a system is installed. When we take the same exact system, meaning the same outdoor unit and indoor combinations, and increase the external pressure, the blower motor will work harder to push the same amount of air, increasing the watts, which reduces the SEER, EER, and HSPF. As we transition to the new requirements, the same system will have the ratings published under the old test procedure and new test procedure. The current ratings will still be SEER, EER, and HSPF, while the new ratings will be displayed as SEER2, EER2, and HSPF2. Because the new test procedure results in about 0.6 to 0.7 lower SEER value, DOE has adjusted the minimum efficiency requirements. As you can see on this map, with the old test procedure, the new minimum would have been 14 SEER for the North AC units, but the real requirement you have to meet is SEER2, which is the value of 13.4. I mentioned that these new requirements are effective January 2023, but we will see two types of enforcement. For the North AC, and all heat pump and SVP product will be enforced by date of manufacturer. Thank goodness we're in the North. This means that as long as the old product is manufactured by the end of 2022, it can be installed after January 1 of 2023. Unfortunately, the South will be enforced by date of installation. This means that all AC units installed in the South as of January 1st, 2023 must meet the new minimum efficiencies. It will be important for all of us to watch our inventories closely to make sure no inventory is stranded once the new requirement goes into effect. To help with the transition, ICP will be making our new South AC available in the first half of 2022. The North will come later in the year. All right, that was a lot of details on regulations. I'm sure your main question is, what are we doing in preparation for the regulations to be 2023 ready? Well, our engineers have already been working hard. Our engineers have already been working hard for years, and we are excited to talk about the new technologies we are launching. Because of the new test procedure, we are taking the system approach to this regulation, including moving to all aluminum outdoor coils, a new V-shaped furnace coil, and optimizing our furnaces and fan coil airflows around the new test procedure. To gain experience and make changes based on feedback, we have been launching these new technologies early. For the new aluminum outdoor coils, we started converting assembly lines and shipping products in 2020. Additionally, in 2021, we started a limited production run on the new V coil to gain field and manufacturing experience prior to moving forward with full production in 2022. We've also been investing in our manufacturing facilities to increase coil capacity for preparation for the larger minimum efficiency units, and our engineering labs have been running 2 shifts to complete all required testing prior to 2023. Now let's focus on our new technologies. In addition to new minimum efficiency AC and heat pump launches, there are 4 key product launches that you will see related to 2023. The first is our new aluminum outdoor coil. What sets this coil apart is the welded design. Before creating the tube, the manufacturing process starts with a flat sheet of aluminum, allowing patterns to be rolled into the inner surface. The aluminum is then rolled and welded to create the tube. These internal patterns create turbulation as refrigerant flows through the tube, increasing heat transfer to provide similar performance and unit size to prior copper coil units. Next is our new V-shaped furnace coil. With 15 patents pending, we are extremely excited about this new coil. The V-shape allows for lower pressure drops and increased efficiency, allowing us to maintain similar heights to end coils while reducing the weight by about 27% on average. The furnace and fan coils we have today are designed around the current test procedure. The airflows of these products need to be changed to optimize around the new test procedure. For our entry tier furnace, we will be increasing the number of airflow options from 5 to 18. That will be an industry leading for an entry tier furnace. The 18 airflows will provide installers with options to tailor the furnace to the needs of the home, while also providing optimal airflows for system ratings. The new furnace will have a 3-digit LED light display with push buttons, making it easy to select the airflow options. We are also working on an app ability to allow installers to modify setup selection through their phone. For the new fan coil, we are moving to more efficient blower motors and new blower housing and making the modification to the coil to provide a more efficiency fan coil in the compact cabinet you love today. The first topic I want to talk more about is the aluminum coil transition. We are in the process of transitioning to aluminum outdoor coils for our AC and heat pumps. In addition to what we've already transitioned, we are also going to be launching our new products in aluminum. We aren't going to do it the same as what is currently out there. Currently on the market today are aluminum outdoor coils with extruded tubes. We do it different. With 2 patents pending, the advantages over the competition with our aluminum coil is that instead of during an extruded aluminum tube, we start with a flat sheet of aluminum. By having it flat, we're able to put an internal embossment in the aluminum. That provides an advanced geometry before rolling the aluminum into a tube. The internal embossment gives a more turbulent flow and improves our heat transferability. Once we have the embossments and zinc cladding, we roll the aluminum and weld the seam to create a tube. That aluminum is 71% thicker than aluminum allowing us to provide increased strength and zinc cladding for corrosion resistance. The aluminum tube is lighter as well. The aluminum coil is about 50% lighter than copper, resulting in a unit that is 8% lighter. Although this coil is aluminum, you won't need to braze aluminum to copper. All of the field braze joints will remain in copper. The operating pressures will also remain the same. Building on years of experience with indoor aluminum technology, ICP is proud to introduce our patent-pending welded aluminum coil technology. By 2023, many of our outdoor condensing units will include welded aluminum tube coils. We are the only manufacturer currently using welded aluminum tubing in residential outdoor products. Taking a look at the new unit features, you can see the enhancements done to the inside wall of the aluminum tubes. Because the tubes are created as flat aluminum and then formed and welded, we are able to groove the inside walls to create more turbulent flow, which increases heat transfer efficiency. The advantage to welded tubing compared to extruded tubing used by competition is the capability to customize the internal grooves rather than being straight. They are angled to enhance the flow and efficiency. Extruded tubing is also lower strength and is not capable of zinc cladding. Better efficiency in the tubing means smaller outdoor units. The tubing is a high-strength aluminum with a zinc cladding layer for improved corrosion resistance. The new tubing is 71% thicker wall than the current copper tubing. The aluminum used for tubing outside of the coil are zinc arc sprayed and diffused for improved corrosion protection. The diffusion forces the zinc material deeper into the tubing surface. There is no need to replace the mounting pad, as the new aluminum condensing unit will maintain the same or similar footprint as copper. Because our aluminum coil is 50% lighter than copper, it is easier to transport these units into place. There is no copper to aluminum brazing required in the field. Next, let's talk about our new entry tier fan coil. We are making efficiency improvements to our blower motor, blower housing, blower wheel, and coil. These efficiency improvements will allow us to have a more efficient fan coil to meet 15 SEER in a smaller cabinet. We are making improvements to the fan coils to improve our serviceability. We will begin offering a standard-sized filter bracket, a TXV with mechanical fittings to eliminate the need for brazing when a TXV replacement is needed, and we're planning to replace some of the knockouts with plugs. The next topic is our V-coil. This truly is a game-changing technology with 15 patents pending. The coil comes in a V configuration with the header tubes positioned at top, hanging on the rails. This geometry allows the condensate on the V-coil to flow against the refrigerant dry outside of the coil. Water is channeled away from the superheated region of the coil, reducing the occurrence of condensate blow-off. Additionally, it reduces the amount of inside surface exposed to the conditioned air, reducing opportunities for cabinet sweating. The corrosion-resistant coil is also made out of aluminum with a significant reduction in braze joints. These braze joints are at the top of the coil, out of the condensate, improving the corrosion resistance of the coil and the braze joints. With this V-coil, we have a more even and controlled airflow over the coil. This improves our heat transfer and reduces the pressure drop of the coil, resulting in improved efficiency. Improving the efficiency isn't enough. We also wanted to make the coil easier to service. There's a knockout in the front panel, and there isn't a delta plate, making it very easy to install a UV light. Without a delta plate, technicians are able to easily clean and inspect the coil. Since the V-coil hangs on rails, it's very simple to slide the coil in and out. We also have added drain options to both the side of the coil, providing options based on the installation configuration. Compared to the end coil, these coils are 27% lighter. We will have similar footprint options compared to the end coil, and even add more narrow options. Without the V-coil, we would have had to needed to go to the tall A-coil height to meet the new minimum efficiencies and test procedure. The V-coil allows us to meet the regulations while having the heights that are either the same or within 2.5 inches of the height of the end coil. With this V-coil introduction, the furnace coil lineup is going to be changing. The V-coil will replace our current N-coil product line. This new V-coil will only be for cooling applications initially, meaning it should only be installed with air conditioners. There will be a vertical model family and a multi-poise family. We will maintain the multi-poise and uncased vertical A-coil. The A-coil can be used with a heat pump or AC applications. The vertical case A-coil will be phased out in 2022. There will be no changes to our slab coils. With the new DOE testing procedure, our indoor products will be impacted as our current airflow settings are optimized around the current test procedure. Specifically, we will focus on our entry tier gas furnace. Since these products only have 5 airflows, they have the most opportunity to optimize around the new test procedure. This launch is planned in 2022. We will later relaunch the mid and deluxe tier gas furnaces to add similar feature improvements to the entry tier. These products will be launched in 2023. For the new entry tier furnaces, we will increase the airflow speeds from 5 to 18. This change will put us in an industry leading position for an entry tier gas furnace product. To achieve 18 speeds, we will be changing the control board and blower motor. With this strategy, we will have a lot more flexibility in the field. There will be more airflow options and smaller gaps between airflows, as these 18 airflows will be evenly spaced. The 18 airflows will also allow for more airflows to select for system ratings, allowing these furnaces to have an optimized airflow for the variety of tonnages for both the current and new test procedure. We will also see an increase in max airflow on many of the models, as much as 28%. Because of the number of airflows available, the highest speed option will use 99% of the torque capability of the motor, while the 5-speed models may have had a reduced max airflow because of the limited speeds. We are improving our serviceability by reducing the number of dedicated motor parts, a 70% reduction since the airflow speeds are stored in the control board, while current furnaces have the airflows stored in the motor, requiring a dedicated motor to each furnace model. With this furnace change, you will see some changes in the nomenclature. Before, the entry tier 5-speed furnaces had a motor designation of E for fixed speed constant torque. For the new 18-speed furnace, the motor designator will be M for multi 18-speed constant torque. So as we look at the before and after feature here, basically you see on the left-hand side what is pre-2023, and then on the right-hand side you see what is post-2023. So this is kind of our transition as we go into the model families. So you can look at the main line. Reduction of some SKUs, not many, no major real changes. If you look at the performance models, you can see the biggest change is in that 2-stage AC, which is the N4A7 will go to an N4A7T. And then not much change on the entry level or R series or Meritherm, you might know it as that, where we're just upgrading from the 13 SEER to the minimum efficiency, which is the 14 SEER. So let's talk about some high-level timing for these launches. As I mentioned before, we're already starting to release the new aluminum coil designs into our 13 and 14 SEER AC products. The new AC South will be released into production in the first half of 2022 to allow it to begin replacing today's ACs in preparation for the date of the installation cut. The new North AC and heat pump will be released in the third quarter of 2022. The new 2-stage product will be one of the first releases in the first half of 2022. For our variable speed products, the designs will remain the same and will be pushing ratings under the new test procedure in 2022. For our new V-coil, limited SKUs will begin shipping in the first half of 2022, with additional models releasing into production through 2022 as assembly lines are converted. Our new fan coils were released in Q4 of 2022. And for SPP, which I don't think we have a lot of in our territory, the first launch will be in the MHAC in the first quarter of 22, with the transition of the remaining models in the second half of the year. For our new entry-tier gas furnaces, we are planning to begin shipping the first part of Q3 2023. So as we look, and a lot of information that we've gone over, I think one of the things I want to point out is that on My Learning Center, if you go to mlctraining.com, you can log on or create a login into what we call My Learning Center. And we have a full library of information on all the 2023 regulatory information that we basically went over today. So everything from videos to this presentation to quizzes, etc., courses that you can take to educate yourself on the regulatory changes coming up in 2023. So with that, if we have any questions, I can turn it over to those on the line.
If anybody does have any questions, you could either type them in the question chat box, or you can click on that little hand raise icon and we can unmute you and you could ask verbally as well. No questions? All right, well, if anybody does have any questions, there'll be a follow-up email that you'll get after this, along with a copy of the link to the recording, and you could always contact us from there and respond to that, and I'll answer your question, or we'll get it over to Allison to answer. So with that, I guess there's no other questions. I guess we will close it out. Thank you, Allison. We appreciate you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Allison.